Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. I'm partly laughing to myself because I did have everything ready to start this WIP Chat and then realised I didn't have a tray and pen and they're not stored in my craft room anymore. So I was like, oh, I better go get one. So I grabbed one that I've been using at the moment. This is from our October launch and this one was from sometime last year. I don't have my pens in here to tell me when this one was from. So yeah, I'm working with a couple of our older trays and pens. We have actually recently been printing some more of these trays for things to come because it was a very popular colour. But I'm going to work on today my K-tiered Dynamic Floral, I think they call it. It is actually all rhinestones rather than diamonds. So hopefully I can get this scrolled down enough that you guys can primarily see what I am doing. Hopefully that will be low enough because it is right at the bottom of my easel at the moment. I'm using this Craftmates storage. It takes a little bit to get it to open. It's not the easiest in the world. It's not the worst, but it's not the easiest storage in the world. But I like to change things up with my storage every now and then. But if you have a look, these don't have an AB coating because they're rhinestones. So I'm happy using my normal pen and glue dot for these because it's more of a glass coating than it is a coating sprinkled over the top of the plastic. This one is a square. I seem to be doing a lot of square paintings at the moment, but I must say these diamonds, first impressions, first colour, they are a very nice fit on this canvas. They're fitting really, really nicely and they look really good quality, but they full on nestle into each other. I can see these giving a satisfying click when you fill in little gaps. But yeah, it's taken me a while to get back into the swing of things, definitely. I didn't suffer jet lag as such for that long, but I think, you know, the tiredness of travel and the trying to get up and go after coming back from, you know, a holiday as such, takes a while to get fully back into the swing of things. Of course, I threw a shop launch in the week I came back, which always knocks me off kilter just a little bit. It ends up being a very busy week, and I think, yeah, it just sort of knocked me for six a little bit. Not in the fact that I wasn't prepared for launch, but I think it was more the fact that I hadn't got caught up on everything that had happened while I'd been away before launch. So I didn't feel as organised. However, we did spend a chunk of time last weekend moving and sorting out a lot of this craft room space, and then the remnants. You know, there's always remnants, isn't there? To any job that you decide to do, there's often things that loiter for a little bit. Even unpacking from Australia, there's been a few bits that have loitered about that needed finishing off. You know, last bits that I'd purchased that needed finding a home or putting away in a home that wasn't just the washing basket or my wardrobe. Yeah, I finally got all of those bits sorted out throughout this week as well. Just the odd bit of time here and there. sometimes while waiting for a printer to print something, it was like, oh, let's just tidy up this, let's just tidy up that. So I feel a lot more organised now this week that those final little bits are away. The craft room has been sorted, though it does still currently have a pile of orders, international orders. They are all packed and ready to go. We did put an update up on the shop page, on the shop Facebook, Instagram, etc. But I know not everybody is part of that. So just to confirm, the latest we have from Royal Mail, and this was the latest on the Friday, is that they are starting to ship international orders that were in the system. They have found a fix, I think, or a workaround, or whatever they want to call it, to get orders shipped internationally. At the moment, anybody can post letters that don't require a customs form to international destinations. However, ours all need customs forms because they're not just a piece of paper. They're diamond painting goodies. So yeah, they're working on shipping any orders that we had already shipped out and were stuck in the system, to get those on their way to you more so than they were. And from what they're saying, I think they will open up the rest next week. However, when next week is still in question. At the moment, they're asking us to still not ship any parcels. So Megan and I have gone through and shipped any via courier that we can. But when we ship via courier, we have to type every single detail in. So we're having to type in not only the customer's name and address to, of course, where it's going to, but it also requires us to type in every item that a customer has ordered. And that's the not so fun part, should we say. Let me just get my next one. What do I want? I want F. Oh, and then I do want L, which is in the same strip. But let's go for F first because I've got less of them. And then I'll go for the big one. Yeah, so it requires us to type in every single item that a customer has bought and its associated custom codes and all the rest of it, which because our site is integrated into Royal Mail, that information is already there, ready for us to ship via the normal postal service. But it's not with a courier. So it has taken us a while, but we have shipped out as many orders as we reasonably can, because courier does cost quite a bit more than normal post. So if it's been, you know, close enough that we can absorb any expense, then we've done that. And hopefully the rest of them will be out next week. But as I say, they are all ready. All ready and packed and just waiting for a go. And believe me, as soon as they say go, whether it be today on a weekend or whether it be through the week, or whenever they say go, we will go and get your orders on the way to you. They just didn't time it right, did they really? Timed it right smack bang at launch time. But yeah, just be assured that everything is lined up. If you've got any problems, do feel free to email us, of course, and we will respond as soon as we can. But the craft room is now primarily all the shop. The shop has taken over. Let me just get quite a bit of 939. It's falling in these little gaps. So let's get those in my tray. There's another one stuck in there. Come on. Trying to get any that are stuck out of the way, and I've got one attached. So let's get that one in. So yeah, the craft room has become primarily shop. It does still house some diamond paintings that need to go into my logbook. So I missed January's logbook update because I wasn't in the country. And boy, am I feeling it now. It is so bad how many paintings I need to add to my logbook and to my stash. But that video will be coming at the beginning of Feb. And I'm hoping to be able to get all these new diamond paintings that I've done unboxings on over the last 2 months, I think. Or maybe it's just been, end of December, January. Get those into my logbook so that I can get those away. And I have my Heaven and Earth design paintings are still stored in here, though the diamonds are stored in my bedroom. But they are going to be living on my dining table. Because if you saw my reflections and goals video yesterday, Heaven and Earth design is my goal for 2023. Pure and simple. I will be doing my best to get that as finished as possible. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Because anything that I set a goal for with Heaven and Earth Designs always seems to have something that tries to flummox it. But I will be giving it my best shot. So I do have comments and questions from last month's video. Not last month's, last week's video. I have replied individually to any comments that require it from the Advent. I have read all of the Advent comments and reacted to them. So that should let you guys know that I have seen them. But we're starting the new year off with New Year's comments. So Anne-Marie, she said, hello Rebecca, and she said, welcome home. Thank you. It is nice to be home, that's for sure. Don't get me wrong, I love visiting family, but there's nothing like staying in your own bed and doing your own daily routine. I'm all caught up on washing as well, which is really good, though I did do my washing in Australia. They have the sunshine. Cat Lady, she said, welcome home. She said she's here with you. She says, but not with a diamond painting today. She says she's working on a knitting project at the moment. Ooh, I like it. She says she completed her Diamond Art Studio Purple November project on New Year's Eve. But she hasn't got another project kitted up yet. Ooh, are you giving yourself the goal of finishing the knitting before you kit up another one? I've been working on my large painting, my Vivian Fox, though I have only had, I think, 1 day that I've been able to work on that this week, maybe 2, maybe 1 at the beginning of the week. Though I did sneak in a couple of Paint Gem mini paintings. So I have finished off 1 set of those. which means I'll be able to dekit those and kit up another one soon. I'm going to try and like bring into my craft room all my paint gem mini paintings when I do that video, so that whichever one it picks I can just grab them. It's going to take me a little while to get used to not having some items I usually have to hand in my craft room, so you may find the odd pauses a little bit more, but it's definitely working better for the shop day to day, and packing orders to be able to have more stuff. And I have space for things that are coming, which was the main goal, to make sure that I had space for things that were coming in. So I'm excited for those to turn up. But yeah. Diamond Sparkle Chase, she says, welcome back. She says she enjoyed my pre-recorded videos while I was visiting family. She said, glad you had a great time. Oh, thank you. I kind of wish I'd spread those pre-recorded videos out just a little bit more to cope with, you know, the jet lag and getting back into the swing of things time. But I do appreciate all of you that are still here, still watching, and don't think I've gone forever. I do have a full list of videos that I want to be able to film for this week, and all things going well, hopefully I will get as many videos up as I want to. I do still need to do my advent painting, so the framing of the advent painting, and I will show pictures of the decorations that I made with my mum. I didn't take the likes of my filming camera or anything with me, so I don't have a video of it, but I do have pictures, so I will insert those into that video to show you what they look like. This is quite nice. It's very sparkly though. Can you see it? Very, very sparkly. Quite a lot of this purple. So this is, well, say purple. It's 939. So L is the symbol for 939, which is a blue. But this actually looks like a very dark purple in a rhinestone. Just to be a little bit different. Kitting down this one is going to be fun. I do have a box for my special diamonds, but I don't yet have one that is got them stored by DMC number. So maybe I'll have to bag these up separately. I'll have to think about that one while I'm completing it. I've got a little bit of a way to go before I'm ready to dekit this one, but I'm sure I can start thinking about the best way for me to be able to dekit this while I'm doing it. Melissa, she says, welcome home. She says she's placing a launch order on Friday the 20th. She says as funds are a little low. She said she's just hoping that there is one or two things left. She says, but if not, c'est la vie. She says, have a great week. Well, I hope you managed to get everything that you wanted with your order, Melissa. There's not a lot of clearance left, as you can understand with clearance. However, with launch items, so the actual new items for launch, there are items left. We do try and make sure in January, we try and make sure that whatever we launch is something that's primarily going to stay. Because we do understand that January can be a harder month than any other month of the year. So all the trashies are still available. Even the limited colours. I will say there is over 100 of each limited colour. in some instances a few hundred of a limited colour. So we have tried to make sure that, you know, that they can stay for a while, the limited trashies. That was our aim, to make sure that they could stay a while, so that everybody can get the ones that they want. So yeah, you should still be able to get any of the trashies. The grip mats, I think, are showing low stock. I did put on the website a few less than what we physically had in stock, just to save any, you know, miscounting dramas. But I do need to, now all orders are packed, I do want to top those up, and we have ordered more. So not only do I have a few more actually in the craft room, or now the shop room, that I need to update the site with, just to make the numbers more exact. Now there's a lot less numbers to count, because when you start getting into the hundreds of things, sometimes it's just not worth counting exactly. If you get over 100, it's just easier to stick 100 and then recount when it gets low. Oh, there's more, eh? I'm blind. But yeah, we do have more on order, so they will hopefully be on their way soon. So you will find that anything that does potentially go out of stock on the non-clearance new items, if they do go out of stock, then there will be more on order, and they will come back as soon as they can. We do also have quite a few new items that have been ordered as well. So we have lots of things coming. Tip out the number 6. Now this one is £5.50, and this one does look a different purple to the 939. It is quite a dark purple, but it is purple. So yeah, you should have been able to get everything, hopefully, that you wanted, Melissa, bar the odd clearance item, of which there are still a couple left, but not too many. Most of them have gone. Tina says, welcome home. She says she's just ordered her first trashy tray. I love my trashy trays. I feel like I am going to have both trashy trays and the grip mats for them in multiple different places in my house. I already have to go hunting for trashy trays. I need to find a place to store all the different colours that I have. It only needs some sort of small pot. I just need to find a permanent home for them and try and make sure that I keep a grip mat with them so that I have them about. I was actually working on the Vivian Fox one last night, and I actually just pulled this grip mat and tray off that painting to bring it in for today while I pinch the easel as well. But it's quite amazing how many diamonds I managed to collect, considering the diamonds are really good quality in that image. I've had no problems, no big problems with the diamond quality, just the odd one with a bubble, or the odd ones that are fused together in like a 2. They're the only things that I've had to put in the trashy, but I did quite a big section of it last night. I may have started a little bit early. Hubby finishes work at 3:30 on a Friday. And my general rule with the shop doesn't always work, as we know. Things change. But my general rule is that when hubby walks through the door, I will finish off whatever I am currently doing and then stop work. I may still sneak in the odd little thing, but I try not to do any bigger work jobs once he's home. So with him finishing early on a Friday, I normally do still carry on for a little bit, but this Friday I had all international orders finished and packed and just had sort of bigger jobs to do, and I was like, oh, they can wait till Monday. It's bigger jobs, preparing stock for the shop, or preparing things that are low stock. It's things like that that I need to do, just to get things all back up to date, and that's what I'm hoping to do this next week. But I'm hoping to fit in my Heaven and Earth designs as well. I did want to fit in my Heaven and Earth designs last week, and actually have started my 2023 goal last week, but with raw mail and international orders and trying to send orders out via courier, which took longer, and of course constantly checking for updates so that I knew what was going on, yeah, it just didn't happen. Okay, what's next? S. I've got diamonds. I've got these diamond pots. I keep pulling them out the case, and I think when I'm working on it, I'm not putting them back in the case. They're easier out of it. Pretty blues. Jacqueline, she says hi. She says she's pretty new to my channel. She says she loves watching me diamond paint. She said it's very relaxing. Oh, thank you, Jackie. She says she's working on a diamond art club off to Netherlands painting. She said it's beautiful. I think that might be one either that Megan's done or Megan's looked at doing. She's a very big Peter Pan fan. Very big Peter Pan fan. She says she put her first order in with me. She says for some trays and accessories. She says she now wishes that she had put on a small tray order. She says for her scrap drills. She says she'll put it on her next video. Well, Jacqueline, if you are one of the ones that is international, and you're watching this before you've had a dispatched email, then by all means bob us an email and we'll see if we can get that added in for you. She says she loves watching the hints and tips videos at the minute. She says as there's lots of handy tips there. She says sounds like you had a lovely time in Australia. She says, oh, she's in the UK. She's just replied. She says she looks forward to receiving my first order from you. She says she's in the UK, so she won't have too long to wait. Oh, well, sorry if I sort of sneaked that in there as an opportunity. If you're in the UK, your order will have gone. Your order will have got sent. I think we've only got a couple that have come through this weekend that will get sent on Monday. Right, I just sneaked in a diamond then because I don't know if I missed it, but it seemed to be the only one that I needed. But yeah, once you've got your order, Jacqueline, I'm sure you will be ordering again anyway, and you can bob a trashy tray onto that one, because yeah, they are just so handy. They're so handy. I used to have like a full-on bin, a little pot bin that's actually got things on the edge of it, that was attached to my cart next to me while I diamond painted. And that's where I used to throw my bad diamonds. Megan used to use a pot in her storage. So whatever storage she was using, she'd use an empty pot for her bits. But we both find that just having that trashy tray just so close. It's also nice to see how many you do end up with at the end of a diamond painting session as well. We just find it so much easier because it's close. You're not spending time reaching over. Plus, Luna, the dog, kept hitting my bin on my cards, whereas she can't get at my trashy tray. So that works out a lot easier. Right, I want number 3 next. I don't know if I'm going to get this section finished or not, so we shall see how we go. I do have quite a few questions though to reply to, and we are experiencing another winter snap. Here in the UK we have had snow again in Warrington, in our usual way that we have snow. It doesn't quite cover the grass fully. You know, it's less than half a centimetre probably. Just a light dusting, just to make it white. And yeah, really, really cold. But apart from that, we haven't been snowed in or anything like that. Not that I'm bothered, I work from home. But yeah, we are experiencing another cold snap. But I do find once I've been in this craft room for a little bit with the door closed, it doesn't get as cold. So I keep pulling out. You'll see me in my blue cardigan quite a lot because it is one of my thickest cardigans. So I forever got it on and off like a yo-yo. And then when I wash it, I make sure it goes on a radiator so it can go straight back on me. Because it keeps me the toastiest. I've had it for years and I absolutely love it, especially come winter. Right, I've finished that one, and now I am actually going to change up how I do my diamonds, I think now. So I was working, just so you know my thought process, I was working from this bottom corner and I was working up each row, getting each one. But I now can see that a lot of these colours are now in this top section here. So I'm going to go to sort of doing round this curve, but also paying a bit of attention to the bottom, depending on what there is. So I think I'm going to go across the bottom first, and then I'll work on these ones to sort of fill in the gaps. So I want number 1. And I'm primarily trying to cover this arc and this little bit down the bottom before I do a lot of that top section. Bernadette, she says, welcome home, Rebecca. She says, it's good to have you back, WIP and waffling. She said she really enjoyed today's waffle. I was all over the place. She says, it was great to hear about your trip and your intended revamp, which I have pulled off, I must say. I may have to film a new sort of tour of my craft space / filming and shop space. I may have to do some new videos on that. I'll see if I can throw them into my schedule and see how soon I can get them done, because I must say my craft room bookcase, albeit in our bedroom, it looks amazing. It looks so pretty. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to look pretty. We'll see what it looks like after a while, but for now, what's on show is pretty. Let's not count what's in the cupboard, because that's not as pretty. But I'll be sure to try and film a video. I might film 2, because I can show you my craft bookcase now in the front room. And maybe give you a tour of my craft cart, so my craft items. But for the shop section, it would be nice to have had some of our new deliveries in. Might make some of it look a little bit prettier. Because I want it to be functional, but I also want it to look nice, which can sometimes cause a problem when trying to figure out storage, is I want both. But yeah, I might do that one a bit later on once everything's come in. Okay, I want O. She says she smiled when I talked about Luna. She says it seems like she was living her best life in the craft room. Yes, she's not generally allowed in here. So because I was trying to film with her in here, she of course wanted to see what everything was. So yeah, I've very promptly put that off as being a bad idea. I think next time, if I try to film with her about, I think I will bring her crate bed from our room and, you know, wait until she's just come back from a walk or a big play session and is tired, and pop her in there while I'm filming. I think that's going to be the only way that I can make it work, because, yeah, she's just too nosy. She's far too nosy. Bernadette also said, she says she's excited. Bernadette says she's excited to hear that new items are coming. She said her bank account might not be too happy. She says, but it'll just have to deal with it. She says she's so glad that I had a nice time with the family. But no matter how nice it is, she says, to go away, it's always nice to come home to your comfort zone. Yes, it's taken me a while to settle back in to my comfort zone. I think just to feel human again, actually, more than settle in per se, but to feel human again in my comfort zone. But yeah, onwards and upwards. 2023 can now start. Now I do feel like I am home in my comfort zone, and yeah, back to facing the world head on. Right, let me get my next one. Let's get my next comment as well, actually. Louise, she says, welcome home. She says, Happy New Year. She says she's got her email that the items were ready for release. And she says she's already placed her order. She says she does understand that she will have to wait as it's an international order. She says thank you. Oh, thank you so much for your appreciation. Hubby has been letting me know some things that have been said by other companies on Twitter, and other companies that have had unhappy customers due to not being able to send international. And I did actually say to him, I said, I am so grateful that I have the customers that I do, because while it is incredibly frustrating for all of us when something like this happens, I am ever so grateful for how understanding that you guys are in relation to it, and I appreciate every single one of you for your patience and understanding, and be assured it is driving me up the wall, and it is frustrating me no end, but we will, you know, we are taking all the steps that we can to, be prepared. As soon as things can go, they will go, and we've shipped everything that we can ship, and we're constantly looking at alternative couriers as well, in case we find a courier that can manage the smaller parcels. And if we can find a courier that can manage the smaller boxes without wanting to charge 3 times the shipping for it, sometimes up to 5 times the shipping as Royal Mail, if we find that courier, we will be sending more out via that courier. So be assured we're constantly looking for ways around it, and constantly crossing our fingers that Royal Mail are just going to open up the shipment of parcels again, so we can go. Right, I'm going to go for K because there's a few less of those before I move to N. Trying to fill in these little gaps, and I just pulled out some X's and I've missed it there. That is one thing that I am noticing already with the rhinestones. Because of the shininess of the rhinestones, and this isn't something that anybody can help, but this is something that I need to be aware of. I am missing ones that aren't done more than if they were normal diamonds. So the gaps, especially in some colours, can be harder to see. And as I say, it's not anything that anybody can fix. It's not something that the company has done wrong in any way. It's just the nature of the rhinestone diamonds, that they are so easy to miss when you only have a couple that aren't done. So I do keep constantly checking over my work. Constantly checking my work because they definitely seem to be wrong. So let's see if I can do this one without missing any gaps. Lady Dax, she says, it's good to have you back, Rebecca. She says, we've missed you. Thank you. She said she's so pleased that I had a good time with the family. She says she loves the painting, which was the Vivian Fox. She says the reds are so vibrant. She says she's also one that is interested, she said, in seeing the K-tiered one. Well, here is me starting the K-tiered one. I haven't, well, before today, I hadn't done any of this. I've been working on, say, Paint Gem Minis and Vivian Fox. But yeah, I did want to change it up a little bit. I've not got a huge amount further with Vivian Fox. I might have gotten nearer to the end of the row I was on at the time. I think I started a row on last week's WIP and Chats. I've not finished that row yet, but I've got closer to the end. But I don't think that's enough of a difference to then do another video on it. I felt like I needed to do a little bit more. So yeah, I thought, why not do some of this? Because that's another reason I have a couple of paintings on the go, for variety. So let's have some variety. Jess says she's so glad that I'm back and had fun in Australia, as did Anne. She's also said welcome back. Thank you. Cecilia, she says she's just finished a painting with numbers and letters in it. She says it was a great order to follow. She says she's kitted up one, up for one other, she says, in the same order. She says no symbols in this one. She says lucky her. She says this painting, she says, will hang up in her kitchen, that has a blue theme, she says, just as the painting she's finished. And she says it's nice to have me back. Oh, thank you. It's so nice when you get a painting finished that you plan on hanging up as well. I know quite a few of us, you know, do it, of course, for the craft and for the pleasure, and because we enjoy doing the painting. We don't always have an idea of where that painting is going to go as we do it. But when we do have a painting that we know exactly where it's going to go, and we can't wait to pop it up, that's another level of excitement, I think. It's something else that, I don't know, just puts a little special touch on it. Okay, what number is this one down as? Oh, 818, a very, very pale pink. And when they're all grouped together, it does look like a pale pink. But when they're laid flat in the tray, they look like a silver. Difference that you get with rhinestones. Try and make sure they all go back in the tub. Right, I want the letter U. This one is another purple. Lots of purple. Next comment. Tilla. I was trying to work out how to say the name then. Apologies if I've hashed it. She says, but Tilla, welcome back. She says, so glad that you've enjoyed your visit to Australia. She said, here in South Africa, she said it's high summer. At the moment, it is 32 degrees Celsius and 20 minutes past 9 in the evening. Wow. If we get 32 in the summer here in the UK, everybody swelters. Everybody swelters. It's classed as far too hot. And while we did have a couple of 32 degree days in Australia, so I did have a couple of days where it was that hot, it was a lot easier to cope with there. Partly due to the fact that they know what air conditioning is. Not so much in the UK, but yeah, us Brits couldn't cope with that, though I would like it to be a bit warmer than a cold snap. I can't wait for spring. I love spring, where you get days that are between 17 and 20 degrees and you get a nice light breeze. Yeah, but yeah, give me days that are between 20 and 25 and I'm happy. I don't ask for all the heat. I don't want all of the heat. I just want some of it. Some of it would be nice. I'm not being greedy. I don't want it all. But I would like some. Okay, let's get that one back. Right, now I think I'm ready to start from this number 2. I think I've filled in all my gaps. Oh, that actually helps. When I tilt it up, which actually gives me the shine, that does help me to see whether I have caught all my gaps or not. So that's good. Kaz says, Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you, Kaz. Steph also says, Happy New Year. She says she hopes I had a lovely time, which I did. Thank you. She says, thank you for all the videos that you did prior to going. She says, between watching them, she says she started watching a box set of Happy Valley. She also said, when you ordered your Dreamer's design, she says, how was delivery long? She says, and by a courier. She says, thank you and can't wait to see what Admiral's Nest gets up to in 2023. It did come via courier. It did take a while, if I remember right. But I think what made it feel longer is I didn't get an email that it was dispatched. And I did check my junk, because I know sometimes our shipment emails get caught in people's junk. So I did make sure to check my junk. But I didn't get any dispatch email. I had to actually go onto the website to my order to see it. And I actually can't remember what courier it came via now. I mean, it wasn't super long. I think it just felt longer because I didn't get that dispatch email. I'm trying to think if it was carried by Yodel the last half. Somebody did let me know in a WIP Chat who it was going to come via. Yodel's the worst courier in our area. I know people have problems with Every, we don't. And that can change up and down the UK as to which ones seem to suffer the most. But yeah, we suffer with Yodel. They are our worst delivery. They're not awful, but they're the worst one that we experience. But yeah, I think the second half of it came via Yodel once it came into the country. And yeah, it just seemed to take a while. I'm pretty sure it was them. Though most stuff that I do get from abroad, a lot of it tends to come via Every, which is fine by me. Every visits me often. They're used to me. And I've never had any problems with them at all. So, but yeah, it seemed to take a while. Having said that, I did order just before Black Friday. So, and I've just seen a number 2 I've missed. Yeah, I did order around Black Friday, so that wouldn't have helped. But I can't tell you how long it took to be dispatched, which means I can't quite tell you how long it took to be delivered. So yeah, sorry, I can't answer your question greatly. I could probably go on a bit of a hunt. So if you are wanting to order from them and the time frames do make a big difference, then do drop me an email and I will hunt out my emails and go into my account and have a look at how long things took. I'm more than happy to do that and let you know, so that you can make an informed decision if that helps you. I just can't tell you straight now. And it's not a quick look on my emails. It'll just take just a little bit of brain power. Not too much, but just a little bit. Right, number 7. I think I am going to get this section finished before I'm done. Grey Legrand, she says she's listening as she cooks. Go you. Oh, and I've missed a number 8 up there. See, look, this is what happens. She says she has flown to the other side of the world. She says from NC in the United States to Da Nang in Vietnam. She said somehow avoiding jet lag both ways. She says, but then coming back from Italy to the US, she had terrible jet lag for a week. She said, go figure. I think sometimes it really can depend on the time of day that you land, how much sleep you've had, on the flight itself. You know, I think there's just so many factors. I have a rough idea of how it hits me when I come to from Australia and indeed to Australia. And most of the time it's roughly the same. But that is because I don't sleep on flights. I tend to keep myself awake if I do arrive in Australia in the morning, I keep myself awake until, you know, between 7 and 9 before I go to bed. And then I think I'm primarily just catching up on sleep the same as I would at home. And I just sleep right through. And then I just go to bed early for a few nights. So, okay, I've just put a colour there. And it's not the right colour. It's either... Oh, it's not got its backing. It's not got its silver backing. I thought it was a wrong colour that got mixed up. But no, it has no silver back. So let's take that out. Christine, she says, welcome home. She says she didn't realise that Lincraft had their own paintings too. She says she'll have to have a look the next time she goes there. Yeah, they didn't have loads. Christine, they only had a few, but they were definitely their brands. I think it's actually week after next I'll have the unboxing video for Lincraft. But there was a nice different type of painting that they had, which I've only seen once before. So I'll be sure to show that in the unboxing videos for Lincraft. yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. It was always worth a quick gander in Lincraft, in my opinion, when I go to Australia. It's always worth a little mooch, because you never know what you're going to see. Right, I'm going to get that number 8 before I forget where that gap is. Jackie, she says, it's lovely to have you back, WIP and waffling. She says she's missed hearing about my exploits. I don't know how many exploits I actually end up having, but maybe I'll have more now me and hubby are doing this year of dates box. We had our home spa. It was quite funny. A pair of us were giggling like nobody's business, putting these feet masks on with moisturising foot mask sock thing that squelched as you put your feet in. I think we were too busy laughing more than anything else, but yeah, we did that. It was fun. Anna says she's glad that I had a nice visit with family and made it home safely. Thank you. Aubrey, she says she knows that we have a diamond painting journal and a book journal. She says, do you think you guys will ever make a cross stitch journal? She says she likes how our journals are laid out and she would love to have one for her cross stitch projects. Yes, Aubrey, it is in our plans to make a cross stitch type logbook. We did put a post up, I think, in the Facebook group a while ago asking for some comments and stuff in relation to it. What is primarily, I think, taking the time with that one is, one, Megan does a lot of the actual work to make designs happen. So I picture it in my head, Megan makes it work. A bit like with the tray. I knew what I wanted, I just needed hubby to make it a reality. So yeah, it's very much the same with the logbooks. So it is getting hold of Megan to be able to do that. But what's actually going to take the time initially, and what is the thing that's stopping us making it more of a priority, is the amount of different thread numbers and stuff in cross stitch. There is a whole load more, and we don't have those as a reference, as a straight quick reference guide. We need to go hunting for those, and we need to go make sure that they're right. And then we need to find out what people want in the actual, you know, entry boxes, whether they want the time it's taken and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's just a few more things that we need to hunt down and find the answers to. They aren't in my head floating about. So that's what's taken us the time at the moment, but it is in our plans. Ren, she says, girl, she says, I can't thank you enough for these WIP and waffles. She says, it's so mesmerising to watch you diamond paint, and your voice is so relaxing. Thank you. She says she always ends up saying to herself that she wish I did lives of diamond painting. She says as she feels she could watch and listen to me for hours. She says she's just placed her order from the website, and she says thank you for all of the amazing stuff that you do for your viewers. Oh, thank you so much for watching. That comment really made me smile. Right, I have finished the end of this, but I will say there was a comment, I'm trying to see because I haven't actually got through them all. Somebody did mention that I was going to discuss the Advent. Ah, here we go. Sarah. She said she did hear about the discussing of the Advent calendar and what goodies were inside. So I am hoping to get one of those done this week. I don't have all the items that were in the advent calendars, because our primary focus was getting advent calendars to as many people as possible. So I don't actually have the items that were in them, but I do know the items that were in them. So my thought is I will squeeze in another WIP Chat this week. I might actually bring Vivian Fox back in, and I will do a WIP Chat on Vivian Fox, but it will just be discussing the advent and what was in them. So it won't be all the other comments and questions and all my other general updates, because you've had them today. I will do a chat about what was in the advent calendars and what our thoughts were. And be assured, the parade is already on next year's. But look at that, it's pretty. When you get it at the right angle, that's so pretty. It looks actually quite dark when it's down there, but when you actually get to see it in effect flat, if I can stop my diamonds all tipping out, there we go. I'm probably a bit too close. See me zooming out now. But if you get it flat and then you can move it in the light, it actually picks up quite a bit. I'll be sure to do some more of this soon. But as I say, I might do, I'm not sure if I'll do my other, maybe I'll pull out a paint gem. I don't know, I'll decide, but I will do another shorter WIP and Waffle, just discussing what was in the advent calendars for 2022, so that you guys know what sort of stuff we decided to put in them, and be assured that we are already thinking of different things for next year. But anyway, or for this year, should I say. Thank you so much for joining and for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.